Oh, no idea.
Yeah, we're live. For those
we're live.
For those people that have nothing else to do but watch us on the internet.
Well, I got plenty to do, but this is more fun.
I finally getting a little bit of time up here in the train room. It's been crazy between work and stuff. I went out to on my job. I went out to cut off a countertop, shorten the countertop. Ended up bringing home 2 statues to fix for the lady.
What kind?
Well, one is a bronze. It was bronze, or it is bronze. It's 2 dolphins jumping out of a wave. It looks really cool, but it had been patched before. The bronze broke, I guess, where it was attached, because it's just attached on one little spot on the top of the wave. And the dolphins are pretty heavy. And so it got broke at some point. And then it was patched again. You know, it was somebody patched it, put it back together, and tried to match the paint and all that mess, and it didn't work. Well, I'm not even trying to match paint. I just told her I've got an epoxy that will definitely hold it. So I brought it home and did that. But you know, really, she should have taken it someplace to have it rebronzed or brazed back together.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But
yeah, that's anyway. Pretty specialized.
Yeah, that was one of them. The other one was.
Have you ever?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
The other one was. Well, the other one was a statue of Mother Mary, and she had dropped it in the head, broke the head off of it. That one was pretty easy to fix.
Ooh. Have you ever silver soldered?
Yeah, but not in a long time. I prefer to braze, but silver solder works. I mean, it holds tight. It's got good tensile strength. Why?
Yeah, because there's some stuff on the tender I'm going to have to do to really do it right is to silver solder it. I'm going to have to learn how to do that.
It's brass, isn't it?
Yeah, brass, stainless steel. And stainless steel.
I've never done any stainless steel. But I have done brass and copper.
Yeah, well, there's some spots on this the top of this tender lip that I'm going to have to. I think I'm going to have to silver solder that because there's no material to actually connect the. Well, I'll show you which piece it is that connects with the top of the tender. Hang on a second. I'll show you.
Morning, sheep boy.
Good morning, sheep boy. Welcome to whatever
you want to call this.
Whatever. Anyway, the top of these. Look at this. You know, the top of the American tenders have.
Yeah, got the skirt around them.
Yeah, I guess they use that to stack wood on. But there's, you know, it's bent and there's nothing, you know, that's going to lay along the edge of the tank. And there's no way that I can see to rivet that thing on. So I think I'm going to have to silver solder that.
Yeah, the only way you can probably rivet it is if you put some attachment points on it and then rivet that to the tank.
Right.
But you're going to be sitting above that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think silver solder would be a better way to go.
Yeah.
Or if you could figure out a way where
because there's I got to put.
If you have a removable cushion that you're going to sit on, if you had a platform that cushion sits on and you fasten it to that and it just sits on top of the tank.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a possibility.
I want that thing attached to the tank, though. But
well, silver solder would hold it.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching videos on it, you know, on silver solder. It doesn't look that hard.
It's not.
As long as you get everything
clean.
I mean,
Yeah, and
I've got the torch and everything to do it. It's just a matter of learning how to do it. Good morning, Daniel. Daniel Banks. Good morning.
Good morning, Daniel. Oh, just
I have
doing
nothing to do except for
bug me.
Work is probably cleaning up this layout. I got spider webs everywhere. I haven't been out here in a while. It's like the spiders are taking over.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody.
I still got a couple of.
It's horrible. There we go. That's better.
I still got some trees I never mounted.
Oh, I still got a bunch of trees to have to do, and I bought these new ones. Well, I say they're new. They're new to me. They're Campbell pine trees that they don't make anymore. They don't even offer them anymore. I found 2 of them on eBay. One of them's brand new. The other one's been started, but I think I can make some small stuff out of it. But they're real tall trees.
Yeah, Sheep Boy. What's your first name again? I forget. Yeah, he says he's always wanted to get into garden scale, but it's too expensive. He might as well get into live steam.
Yeah, yeah. G scale's
really expensive.
Well, the Bachman G scale stuff's not bad, but it's, it depends on what you're wanting to run. If you're just wanting a little garden railway, you can probably do it relatively cheap. The track is, if you've got any length of track, that's gonna run you some.
Well, it depends on what kind too. If you're going to do the really quality solid brass track for outside, that stuff is really expensive.
But if you do a little bit at a time, you might be able to swing something like that. A little easier anyway.
Let's see. Yeah, I really should clean this layout up.
Yeah, mine is just a mess right now, except right here where I'm working. I got stuff down here on the floor I'm stepping on, and the good thing is I collected a lot of this stuff before it got too terribly expensive, especially the rolling stock and whatnot. But some of this stuff is just in the way.
Daniel's telling Sheep Boy he needs to hand lay it. Has anybody hand laid G-scale track?
If you want to do that, go over and look at Toyman's videos. He's doing that, especially the logging railroad. Oh man, his isn't G-scale. His is 1/20th scale. His is bigger, but man, he's doing some pretty work on that. What's a good thing I decided to do?
God, it's supposed to be a
narrow gauge, because their track work is not always the best. And I can match that.
Well, that's what makes it even look better.
Oh yeah, well, I even have the tie jig for the narrow gauge from Fast Tracks right here. You can see how this is called their branch line. They've got turn around this way, you can read it probably. You can see how they're uneven on there. They've got the main line one, which is they're much straighter, and then they've got the branch line, and then they've got I can't remember what the other one is. There's another one that's even worse than that. But it does help you lay them, relatively even manner, but then askew, which once you paint it, it's really tough to see it. You can see a little bit after you get the ballast in, but when it's just on the cork and painted, you can't tell what's what. You have to get the lighter ballast on it before you can actually see what's going on.
Yeah, I've been going over my head. Yesterday. I spent the day. I had the blueprints for the tender laid out, trying to figure out what's what and what I have. And I found quite a few things that John had already um, done to start that tender, which is going to make it a whole lot easier.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he was doing what needed to be done as he was going.
Well, it looks like he had, once he got, yeah. Well, it looks like once he got that locomotive where it is right now, he had started getting stuff done for the tender.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of well, there's 8 support brackets that go underneath the tank floor that bolts the frame to that. They bolt to the frame, and then the floor bolts to that. And he's got those all machine drilled and ready to install. So that's good.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you what they are. Let me go get one. It's kind of a little triangular piece. Ooh, where are they? Yeah, I've been looking online for rivet guns. It's going to be probably about 200 to 250 for a rivet kit, but get everything at once. It looks like look like this, Claude.
That's the bracket. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they go upside down, and this end here bolts to the side of the frame, and then the tank bolts, and he's got the holes already drilled, ready to go. So
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, that'll help. All that extra stuff like that's already done is going to help.
See, nothing wants to run. Yeah, I wish I had something to do on that thing today, but there's nothing I can do. I've got the running boards at a performance fabrication shop here that I found out. I found them through another guy, and they build custom hot rods, and they can fabricate and build anything. And those brass running boards, when John machined them, the top side with the wood planks, when he removed that little bit of material on top of that 1/4-inch brass, it bowed because it released the tension on the top. And I was talking with the guy that there's 2 options, and one is to mill the backside to release the tension on what would be the bottom side to balance out, because when that material was gone, it's got a grain to it just like wood, and that brass bowed, and it is really hard to straighten. I tried to straighten it out, but I don't have anybody to machine the backside of it, so they're gonna put, oh geez, what is it?
Is this the running boards you're talking
I don't
about?
remember the name. Yeah, those brass running boards.
Yeah.
So he's going to put it through a roller, but the top side of those running boards have a little lip all the way around the edge, and they don't want to smush those down because they're really thin. So they want to get a shim, very thin metal, to fill in where the brass was removed, so that when they run it through the rollers, they won't smash those top edges down. But they are so swamped, it's going to be a little while before you can get it done, which is fine. I'm in no hurry. But that's really important that those things are flat.
Hey, Daniel.
Well, let's see. It shows we got 5 in chat.
We got 5 in chat.
5. Well, that you, me, Sheep Boy, and Daniel. So there's one more.
I'm not on YouTube. I'm just on.
Okay. Well, I'm on. So there's 2 lurking. Who are you?
There's the link, guys. If somebody wants to come join,
please, because I've got nothing to do.
Steve's just lamenting.
I'm lamenting. Oh man, you were killing me yesterday sending me the pictures of your pool. It's like, geez.
Oh man, I got home. I was so tired and hot, and I thought I'm just gonna make me a bourbon and go out there on the patio and sit. Now it was, it was warm outside, but the wind was blowing pretty good, and so sitting in the shade, it wasn't bad.
I was out in the back.
Dragon Liver's here. Hello, Dragon Liver. Do what now?
Hey, Dragon Liver. No, I was out on the lawn with the dogs when you sent me that. It was like 103, and I was sitting in the shade. And you sent me that. I was like, damn, man, you're killing me.
Yeah, it was 90, like 99 here, with about. Oh, the wind was blowing, so like I say, that helped make it feel a little bit better. But if you were in the sun, it didn't matter. It was hot. And the humidity was up,
it's
too.
It's supposed to be 110 here.
Good gravy.
It's supposed to be 110 here today.
It better not be like that next year. Brenda's not going to be happy. I drag her off into the
probably will be. Oh, God. And they're expecting, they got monsoon moisture coming up from the Gulf that's going to hit. So we've got thunderstorms are going to pop up today and tomorrow.
Well, hopefully they'll have rain in them more than lightning.
Nope. It's going to be dry. No rain forecast.
No rain forecast?
That's
just thunderstorms. Good. No, that's not good at all.
Just lightning. Trying to get something to run.
The spiders have taken over. It's Kingdom. Yeah. Oh, Kingdom of the Spiders. You ever see that movie?
No.
William Shatner.
Daddy Longlegs. He did that? I didn't know he did one like that.
Yeah. If I remember right, it was William Shatner. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
Captain Kirk.
By the end of the movie, they had the whole town in a web.
Well, now we're down to 3. Where'd everybody go? Daniel Banks, Dragon Lover, Sheep Boy, and me. That's 4. I should just fire up that locomotive and go out and sit there and watch it work. Watch it move.
It's relaxing anyway.
Actually, it is.
Well, it's kind of like, I had the waterfall on the pool yesterday, and it was kind of like sitting there listening to that.
Let's see. Go turn on compressor.
If any of you guys saw my update I put up, when did I put that up? Yesterday? Day before?
Yeah, that was a good update. You've done a lot.
Well, this is an extension of that, because this is what I was talking about when I said I was moving this track over to give a little more room for the junkyard. The other nice thing about doing narrow gauge is you can either have the wide vista stuff, views, or you can have a fairly cluttered scene, going scene from scene, kind of like this is, because they did run that way. they served all the small towns, and they would just be right in the middle of town, basically.
I hope someday I get to Tulsa to see your layout. That would be awesome.
Hey, man.
I don't see that.
We'll
I
sit
don't
by
see
the
that
pool.
happening though.
We got plenty of room. So you wouldn't have to get a hotel. We got plenty of room here.
I don't see that happening. Where? Now I got a short. That's good. Good grief. I think I'm just going to come out here and watch this. It's more fun.
I hear the butter maker working.
Yeah. My little Model A.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like too. I'm gonna move you guys over here. Maybe I won't.
The other thing that's nice about doing a narrow gauge, especially on your little spurs and stuff, is you don't have to worry about getting your tracks absolutely straight.
Let's see. There.
Tweet, tweet.
I hope the other one sounds better.
Got to put a diesel horn on it. That'd surprise everybody.
Yeah, it would. I don't know where I put it.
You had one of those giant 5 chimes or something like they got on the big boy.
Hey, what's up with Gus Hadley, the lunatic from Arno? That's a good. I haven't seen that one.
See, I'm not watching this.
Michael McCarville.
Michael's in here, right?
We got Lynn McCurdy. He's watching, more listening while he's packing up trains and support items for tomorrow. Setting up tomorrow afternoon for a train show in Tehachapi. Wow, that's cool. And Michael McCarville here. Happy summer.
Yeah, Mike. Summer's been busy.
Summer is
I agree,
busy.
Mike.
Yes, it is.
But Silverton was
always
really cool. Literally, it was cool. A lot cooler than it was at home.
Yeah, we got John, Schuylkill River. Good morning, John.
Hey, John.
I'll just sit out here and watch this.
Just set that anywhere, Steve.
I'm going to. I got to make room. Oh, lordy. Ah, Dragon Lover. Connie is name. Okay. We'll start calling you Connie. Actually, I should probably oil this thing. I haven't oiled it in a while.
Yeah, that or you can just shave all the metal down to where it's smooth. I have glue on that right there. That's not a good thing.
I can't wait to get this thing running. There's oil there.
Be hitting the reverse. Daniel wants to know if it's all manual lubrication, Steve.
Yes, it is. Most of these live steam are. There's some guys put mechanical lubricators on them, but it's not real common. Really, the only lubrication that this doesn't have that most do is a for steam oil. It helps lubricate the cylinders. I'm gonna have to figure something out on that. It's a really thick oil. It doesn't break down under heat.
We used to use, when it was plumbing, we used to use heat-proof grease. They called it heat-proof grease. I don't know how much temperature it would take before it would break down. But it's a grease, kind of like a consistency of Vaseline, maybe. Made for faucets and stuff.
Okay.
But it was made not to break down, with hot water. So I just don't know if it would handle if it would handle that kind of heat. Steam would be a little bit hotter than what you get out of the faucet.
There's a special steam oil that guys use.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Well, Sheep Boy says, how goes your HON3 layout, Claude?
Well, it's going. I've been so busy, like Mike was saying, summer's been so busy, between vacation and, while I was on vacation, I had tons of people call me, and it's not let up since then. I didn't even really get caught up. I had very few days off to be able to get out here. Even the weekends have been busy, and of course we've been putting that pool in and having to meet people and all that kind of stuff for it.
Right.
But all of the pool's kind of wound up now. The last thing they've got to do is come put in the correct handrail, and once they do that, they'll be finished. Thank God.
Yeah,
it's
Daniel,
nice having the pool, but man,
yeah, Daniel's asking.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Daniel's asking how long between lubes. Basically, anytime you stop, you're probably lubing this thing several times a run day. When you're firing up, that's what you get. Once you get it all set up to start making steam, then that's when you lube up all the running gear. And anytime you're down, you're always lubing stuff up because it wears out real fast.
Yeah, well, that's even true on the on the actual steam engines, real steam engines. You know, when they go on Cumbers and Toltec and they stop for lunch, you'll come out, if you come out after you have lunch and start looking up at the locomotive, the fireman and the engineer are up there lubing the snot out of it. And they're only halfway through the day.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I would imagine it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah, the engineer, when they do that, on steamers, the engineer is responsible for everything below the running gear. Fireman, everything above the running gear.
I didn't know that, but I did know they were both out there looking at stuff and constantly checking.
Oh, sure.
Because if something were to hang up, it'd take you off the rails pretty easy, I would think.
Oh yeah.
Because those K-36.
Well, the fireman's always making.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying the fireman's always, he's got to make sure the injectors are always working and lubed, and steam pumps, water pumps, and all that good stuff. So he's, actually, if Tim was here, he could explain that. He's probably in bed. I should message him and wake him up.
You got those K-36s, which is what they run most now. They hang over the edge of the rail so far that if you had anything go wrong on the running gear, I could see those just, popping right off the rail without much force.
If I show you the steam pump, I've only got one steam pump that's working right now. I'm going to sell these. Okay, let's see. Yeah, these are what steam pumps do. Looks like this. And the steam comes in this side, exhaust out this side, water comes in this side, and exhaust out this side. So that pumps the water to the boiler. But these, there's no way these will work on this. I mean, look at the size of these.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sell those.
Yeah, they're a little large, looks like.
That was an added bonus because I don't need them. They're worth quite a bit of money when they're working. So that'll help fund.
Well, if they can be rebuilt, I would think they'd be worth something even.
Oh, yeah. Well, even if you can, if they don't work, even if you use them as a dummy, they're still worth a few $100, $300 or $400 just as a dummy. Oh, I got so lucky, Claude, not having the heads on my truck gone. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I thought I got
Did you get it? Were you able to get it fixed yet?
No, my stepson's got the master cylinder ordered, so he's going to put it in. So that's only $300. So that's a good thing.
You had to get a whole new master cylinder?
Well, yeah, because the boot, I get. Long story short is the parts are hard to come by right now. Even Toyota's having a hard time
getting by right now.
What's that?
Everything's hard to come by.
Oh yeah, exactly. So we're just going to do a whole new master cylinder. It's easier to just put it right in.
We used to have an auto parts place here in town. Back when I had my '64 Chevy pickup that I would actually work on. You could buy parts from them at a real reasonable cost. Oh, man. At a reasonable cost, like something like a master cylinder or something. If you bought the master cylinder from them, even if it was rebuilt, they would provide you with a lifetime guarantee. So as long as you own that car, that part was covered. If it ever quit, they just give you
Oh, that's
another one.
cool.
Yeah. And, they left town or quit in town a while back, but that was nice because I bought water pumps and master cylinders from them. Of course, that's back when you could get a master cylinder for about a rebuilt one for about $35.
Not anymore.
It's been a few years, I'm sure. I lose track of time anymore. Well, that was for a 64 C10 pickup.
Yeah, I had a 77 Cheyenne C10. That was the first vehicle I ever bought new. Ordered it from the factory.
My first new car was a 77 Dodge Aspen with a 318 4-speed overdrive. 2-door, the high bucket seats. I was offered $800 for each of the seats in the front. I should have done that instead of trading it in for our other car when we did that. I'd have made more money. But man, that car would get up and go down the road. It was so lightweight and had that 318 in there with that overdrive. I mean, it would get it.
My first car was a 69 Ford Galaxy 500 4-door powder blue. Looked like an old lady car.
Well, my first car was a 68 Valiant. Old slant 6 Valiant. And it looked like an old lady car.
Okay.
Yeah, my car payments on that car were $137 a month. And I financed the entire amount. It was $5,000, and I financed the entire amount. $137 for 3 years.
Well, I remember how much I paid for my truck, $5,268.35 in 1977.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you stupid bee.
Uh-oh. Lynn
McCurdy.
First new car was a 72 Dodge Demon. 318 auto. Your girlfriend rolled it when it was only 6 months old. Holy moly, man.
Oh,
what kind of girls do you date, dude?
And Dan, yours was a 76 Ford LTD and you paid $200 for it.
Yeah, because that's all it was worth.
Hey, but if it gets you from point A to point B, that's a good thing.
Okay. Oh wait, Michael McCarville's talking to. Oh man, we've been missing a bunch of this. Okay. Cheap Boy says he's currently working on HOM3 and HOM30 diorama, but still need to get HOM30 rolling stock and locomotive. Danny said, "Well, sure, it's my line." Okay. Michael McCarville says he's doing HOM3, but mostly structures and Blackstone right now. Lynn says, I'm preparing for tomorrow. I realize I have few too many trains. Looking for one box. When I say trains, I meant locos and cars. Anyway, moved one box to find 2 more boxes of trains. Yeah, that's a nice problem to have, though. And Sheep Boy wants to ask Michael how he has money for Blackstone. Well, Michael probably bought his one like I did before they shot up in price. Oh, he got his new. I got mine used on eBay. I say used. They were already purchased by somebody, but I think the most I paid for any of mine was like $420. Most of them were 400 or less. That's why I haven't bought anymore. Although I did get an email from Train World yesterday saying they have to update my payment information because they changed their back order thing, and they still have my 2 engines from 2.5 years ago on back order from Blackstone. I don't think those are ever going to come around, so I'm not too worried about it right now. I'd almost forgot about them. Just when you think you got it in the right spot, you realize, nope. There we go. That's better. Dragon Lovers is a 1976 Honda Civic, a pregnant roller skate. Yeah.
No, I had 2 Honda Civics. I had a 4-door Civic station wagon. It was an 82. I had almost 400,000 miles on that thing before it finally died.
Oh, here's Bernard's. First new was a shot bed candy apple red 4x4 F-150. He still has it, 13,000 original miles.
Wow.
And Sheep Boy says, just drive down and pick them up. You talking about my engines you want?
That Sheep says he still needs to get his first new one.
Hey, I understand.
Bernard's first car was a 56 T-Bird. Wow. 66 two-door Ford Galaxy with a 429.
No, we had a 2-door. What year was that? A 68, I think. 2-door Ford Galaxy. That thing looked kind of like a large T-Bird, overgrown T-Bird. That car would get it too. Although that was before I was driving, so. Heck, I remember the first car Dad bought when we were here in Tulsa. We moved up here was a 1970 Dodge. What was the name of that car? Bonneville. No, that was Plymouth. Wasn't a Bonneville. What the heck was that thing? Anyway, it was a Dodge. It was Dodge's answer to the big luxury car at the time. It had a let's see, what was it in that car? I forget. What did Dodge have that was like 400 cubic inches? Didn't they have something that's 400 cubic inches?
You got me.
I'm not a car guy, but I remember
Connie's got a 87 Dodge Ram with 50K original miles. That's hardly broke in.
Oh, it was a Dodge Monaco is what it was. Dodge Monaco had a four-barrel carburetor on it. And I remember Dad was getting on the highway one day on the entrance ramp. It was a short entrance ramp. And there was some fast traffic coming. He punched that thing. We must have been doing probably 50, 55 going up the ramp. He put it on the floor and spun the tires.
Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, you say he just wasn't sure how small live steam compared to full size have lubricator reservoirs at the different fittings and such. Yeah, this is all done by hand. Mostly manual.
Bernard, they said it was a 440. Yeah, it had a 4-barrel carburetor on it. I remember that. And it was a Dodge Monaco. And I mean, that thing was a big old tank. It rode really nice. And I mean, you punch it and it would suck the gas. It would just pull it. You could watch the dang needle go down.
So my 77 Cheyenne that had a 350, and I think the best I ever got was about 12, 13 miles to the gallon.
That little Plymouth Valiant I had got real good gas mileage. It was a slant 6, 225 slant 6. But it was such a small car, man. That thing had run forever on just a little bit of gas.
Hey, good morning, Bill. We didn't know we were on either.
We never do.
How's the back doing? Nope. How's your back doing?
Coffee.
Let's see, Bernard, you said you shared my new Steam Iron Wives video with the airport mechanics and the pilots. They loved it. Okay. What video was that? This one? The Steam Iron Wife. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, Len McCurdy said the saying was it will pass everything on the road to the gas station. I believe that too.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating, Bernard, how all this stuff works together. It's really cool. I can't wait to get this thing fired up and run it.
Oh, Bernard, I got some kind of bad news.
Uh-oh. What kind of bad news?
Well, for Bernard, it might be good news for Bernard. I don't know. We won't be going through Elko on our trip next year.
I wonder if I could hook up that steam whistle. You know what that sounds like.
Yeah, we're going to go, instead of going back through or coming down the south into California coast and cut across at Tahoe, we're going to go north up to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and then over to Glacier National Park, and then down and see Mount Rushmore. So we're going to take the big loop up the north side. So Elko got bumped. Unfortunately, but that's what happened.
Nobody goes to Elko. There's
Bernard
nothing
does.
in
He lives
Elko.
there.
I've been there before.
I've not been there.
Oh, baby, get over there.
I might get there one of these days.
It's been a long time, though.
I need to go downstairs and grab a piece of rail. I have no rail up here. Be right back.
Let's see. Okay, let's see. How can I do that? Oh, there's no way to hook that up. Let's see. Oh, good job, John. I can't even get to it. What if I took that pilot off? Let's see. How is that screwed on there? There and there. How did he fasten this? No idea how to get that off.
Yeah, you can come over to Train Mountain. I'll be there for sure. A little drive.
Oh, we're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Chuck's gonna come down, I think, or that's he's planning on it.
Yeah, he's not that far.
Hey, Mike, are you still on here? No, if Mr. McCarville is still on here. I was going to ask you if you're hand laying your track or if you're doing flex track and what code you're using. I'm using 70 on everything just to make it simpler, but I was using code 40 for the mine stuff. I went to buy a little bit from Fast Tracks, and the shipping was going to be more than the product. And the shipping went crazy from Canada.
Bernardi said Elko's grown too big for you. Google the new water tower and train park. Do tell more.
Okay, so you're going to hand lay it? Or do you know yet? I know it's a lot faster if time is a consideration.
He says some is hand laid.
Yeah, flex track is a whole lot faster. I think that's why I'm going to do the top deck. Most of it's going to be flex track. I got a. I don't know if I said this before on here, but I bought a bunch of flex track, 33 pieces of flex track, HON3 flex track, micro engineering, code 70. 33 pieces I got. 30, no, more than that, 35 pieces. Got it for $70-something.
Sorry about the noise.
Stole it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Compressor is noisy.
Buttercup shine, buddy.
That compressor's loud.
You're going to start Ridgeway first? That'll be cool. I'll be interested in watching that progress. After watching you build buildings, I think watching you do the rest of the layout's going to be fun.
Tell you what, John was really good about marking stuff. He put notes and everything. I'm glad he was meticulous. Makes my job easier.
He just had a premonition you were going to end up with it, Steve. And he knew you were going to need all the help you could get.
Oh, he knew that. Yeah, he knew that.
Yeah, Bill, I agree. That's why I couldn't pass it up. I thought even if I don't use it, I can turn around and piece it out and make some money on it. And I won't use all of it, I don't think, because I don't have that much track on top. So I'll have some left to give away or something.
Sweet.
Okay, Bernard, is that like a like an 1.5-inch scale or something like that? Train park? I'm assuming it is.
Or is it full size?
It could be. There's been a lot of work done on preserving some of the steam stuff in several places. I know up at Como, they're trying to get enough track, I think, up at Como that they can do some scenic rides up there. Oh, way to go, dummy. Shoved it right off of there. I know what I need to do anyway.
Yeah, I think my first order of business on this thing is to start working on the tender.
Oh, probably, yeah. It sounds like that's going to be the biggest job.
It is. It's going to be a buttload of work. Okay, it's full size, just static. Let's see. Huge water tower with a static WP and GP. Do you know what the number is on that caboose, Bernard? WP? I've probably seen it. Yeah, Bernard, I did figure it out. The pop rivets aren't going to be an option. I have looked everywhere for suitable round head pop rivets, and it's just not going to happen. So I'm going to be riveting the whole thing. And I found a couple rivet gun kits for between $200-250. It's got the bucking bar and the rivet gun, and so I'm just going to go ahead and bite the bullet and rivet this thing. It'll look better anyway.
It'll look good that way for sure. Oh, I was going to put do that right there. There, if anybody wants to pop on the chat.
Yeah, because I'm boring. Okay. I wanted to make sure I had enough bolts to bolt that thing before I rivet it. And I do. God bless you, John. I'm gonna look at this mess of screws and stuff he had with this. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot done on the layout anytime soon, especially with this project.
Well, you didn't have a whole lot left to do to finish the whole thing, did you?
No, not really.
Just adding.
I mean, just
different scenery here and there.
Yeah, just details, scenery, and tweaking track. I still got turnouts I need to build to replace, but that's getting a little down on the priority list.
Yeah, I hear you.
Still got a house to paint.
Break out the rattle cans.
Been too damn hot.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be doing latex paint.
Boy, that'd be a lot of rattle cans.
Yeah, it would.
No, I would. Actually, I'm figuring on getting the prep all done and shoot the paint probably second week in September, something like that, when it starts cooling down, if it does.
Oh yeah, that's what I would do. I wouldn't. You don't want to paint. I tried that one time painting when it was real hot outside. Paint almost dries on the road before you can get it on the house.
Well, we're going to spray it.
Would be worse. Well, spraying it would be even worse.
Yeah, and I'm going to spray it. My stepson's got a professional sprayer, so that's what I'm going to do. But that's what the wife was saying. It's like, well, when are you going to paint it? It's like, well, I'm not going to paint it until September. She wants to get it done.
Bill says he'll pop on next time we make the offer. He has to head out soon to do some running. Well, I'll tell you what, I tell my wife when she says she's going to run to the store, I said, take the car. You're too old to be running.
Yeah.
And if she sees this, I'll be sleeping in the garage tonight.
Oh, I'll tell her.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
I'll tell her. Claude's talking crap to you.
Yeah, she knows. I think she's putting arsenic in my food anyway.
Ooh, that's a slow killer.
I know. That way she can enjoy the process.
You better watch out.
No, she's pretty good.
Oh, she's a gem.
Don't tell her that.
I don't know how you landed her.
I don't either.
You're just one lucky dude.
I chased her. She was just dumb enough to give in.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we can tell you some stories about that.
Okay, Bill, take care, man. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, Bill, be careful. See you later. Okay, let's put these up here. I want you got a kink in the thing. Ease up, baby. There it goes.
Okay, you said that caboose is the 437, and is that a WPGP 727? That's a GP9.
Oh, cool. I like the early Jeeps.
You know, I used to. Yeah, before I worked for the Santa Fe, I was a mechanic at bowling alley for 3 years. And the WP tracks ran through Livermore that I grew up. So I was a huge WP fan. And I started a logbook that logged all the trains and power going through there with the caboose numbers. I should go get that and see when I saw that caboose. Now I got to remember where okay, I'll be right back. Hang on a second.
See what you started, Bernard?
Got nothing else to do. Yeah. Now I got to go find the logbook. That was from 1976.
Hey, Steve, you know when I come up there next year,
you guys weren't even born yet. What?
When I come up there next year, we're going to have to do a show on all the stuff your dad has up in the attic. That you have your dad's up in the attic. That would make a good show.
That'll take a whole day.
Yeah, but it'll make a good show.
It would. We just do that on a bean sometime. I should just go up in the attic and do it.
Well, I want the storage boxes. Much less all the trains that are in them. Yeah, you guys wouldn't believe the amount of trains and stuff he's got up in the attic that he's not even using. I was trying to talk him into doing a standard gauge layout in that space that he's got this engine in, and of course then he went and bought this engine, so that killed any plan of that. But yeah, his dad had tons and tons of stuff, and it's all looks like it's in fantastic shape, and it's all in these really nice storage containers that he made for him. And I'd love just to have the storage containers. Man, I wish I ran that smooth. I'd even put up with the noise. I just ran that smooth still.
You guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I went inside. The dogs went crazy, so I got to walk them around for a few minutes. They're like going nuts. So I'll be around. I got to walk the dogs around the yard.
Okay.
Turn this off.
So now they got to listen to me.
Yeah, I'll be back. I promise.
You promised? That sounded like a threat to me. Oh, and I just got a phone call. Okay, guys, just a second. I got a phone call I got to look at on my phone, which is this camera. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Now the dogs are taken care of. Now I gotta find that book. Hey, Claude. Claude. Where'd the sound go? Okay. Claude, hello.
No sound.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There you go.
Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize I wasn't being heard. Oh, so anyway, you guys saw what I was talking about with the stub switch. You've got the tie that holds the stub ends. That's glued down, and the rail stub ends of the rail are soldered to that. The next tie is also glued down, but there's no rail tied to that. The end of the lead tracks move back and forth on that. Then the next tie is the throw bar, and it's not glued down. It's just soldered to the tail tracks or lead tracks. Then the next tie is glued down, and the rails just run on top of that. And those are the two that are tied together with the rail to help hold the rail lined up vertically with the turnout. And then coming back about an inch or so, 2 inches from the stub end, all of that track moves back and forth. Those ties are all glued down, but the rail just rides on top of them so that it will flex. There's one tie back about halfway on that is soldered to both, and it's not glued down. It can move back and forth so that the tail can move. But anyway, that's kind of how it works. Pretty much like a real one, although I've never done a real one, so I've never seen I've never read how to do a real one, how a real one works. But I've seen several pictures of them, and it was pretty easy to kind of figure out what you had to make it work, had to do to make it work. So after all that long-winded stuff, now I will try painting it. Oh, wait a minute. I got to put leads on it first. Okay, let's do leads back here on the clean track. Sorry, I'm back over here. Which end goes into cement? You mean which one's glued down? Which ties are glued down? I'll point those back out here in a second. There we go. Let me get my pointing apparatus. You can see with that though. Let's see. Here we go. This will work better. Okay, Bernard, be watching because here it goes. See if that's on the camera. I can't even tell if I'm on camera or not. See, if I flip this back around, I'm going to look screwed up again. Okay, Bernard. This one's glued down. Stub rails soldered to it. This one is glued down. Okay. Lead rails are not soldered to it. This is the throw bar. Lead rails are soldered to that, but not glued down. This one's glued down. Okay. And everything else back here is glued down except for this one. This is the one that just holds gauge on the tracks. The rail slides over the top of everything else except for this one and the throw bar. And then these two rails on either side are soldered to these two that are glued down to hold this vertical in line with the stub. So that's how that works, or at least how mine works. Hope that explained it better. Okay. I always do my power leads on the outside of the rail so they don't ever interfere with the flanges. And once it's painted and ballasted, you can't see them anyway, so it works out really well that way. Okay, now I'm trying to remember how I had those run. I think it reads in the back. Where'd the hole go? Help me, help me. Better take that first.
Well, sorry, Bernard, I can't find that logbook.
It's probably up there with the train stuff up in the attic.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't. I don't know. Look through that, but I can't find it.
And this is all my power leads are 20 gauge doorbell wire. Only because I had a huge roll of it. But it does work out well. It's big enough to you can handle it. It is solid wire. So you can form it and it'll stay in whatever shape you put it in, pretty much. Kind of like this knot right here. There it is.
Yeah, I must have put it up in the attic.
Okay, back chat. What did I miss?
You didn't miss nothing.
No, I didn't miss.
Well, you might miss something from somebody else that had something pertinent to say.
Let's see. No, Bernard, I couldn't find it.
Me.
Yeah, that sucks. I thought it'd be laying around here somewhere.
Okay. So now I can paint.
Everybody left.
Did they? Good for them.
We got three. We got three, which is Bernard, me, and that's it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to hear that, Bernard.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Bernard. Wow.
Although I'm guessing you're close to our age, which Steve and I are both 64.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, that is kind of what goes with the age. Is people that I don't know how many customers I've lost over the years. I started doing what I do because I got tired of my mom and her friends, her single elderly friends, getting ripped off by people for small jobs in their homes, and so I started doing that. And for a long time, all my customers were single elderly women. And I've had so many of them pass away that were really, really good, ended up being really good friends. Because if you've ever been around single elderly women, you know they like to talk every chance they get. And they would definitely bend my ear a few times, which was fine. I enjoyed it. Okay, we're going to paint.
I wonder if I put it up in the attic. I'm gonna dash up in the attic for a second.
You're gonna dash?
I might have stuck it up there. I know.
First Bill's gonna run. Now you're gonna dash. Yeah,
I'm gonna dash. I'm gonna.
You guys are killing me. All this physical,
there's one box
physical movement and labor stuff. I don't know.
Ooh. Okay. What a freaking mess! Oh my god. This attic is a disaster.
Neatest thing up there are your dad's trains and the boxes.
Yeah. Oh no! I got Christmas ornament boxes that fell up here. Oh crap!
That's not good.
No. I can see I'm going to be spending a day up here.
I'd wait till it cools off there too.
Oh yeah.
You get up there all day, you know, when it's triple digits, and you could die real easy at someplace like that.
Out. Let's see. What box would that be in?
Okay, so I got stuff taped off that I don't want to get paint on it. The nice thing about this is, even though it's a rattle can paint, you can keep it fairly contained. Now, the rail from here back to where I tied on, move this back a little bit. Man, I still don't have it back too far. Okay, so anyway, the rail from here back to this point is already weathered, already painted, but the ties are all new, so I'm going to paint those too. And then the rail up here will get painted. And what I'm using, this is what I use. Right camera here. Just Krylon camouflage. There's like 4 colors this stuff has. This is the, I don't know, brown. They make a black too. It's not really a true black. It's more of a grimy black, but it's a little bit too dark for the rails, I think. I think the brown looks a little bit more like a natural rust. Yeah, I hear you, Bernard. That's the same reason I was doing it. And I still get, I mean, I got from a guy, now this is a new customer I had. I did a tub and shower valve for him, put one in. That was a real nightmare to put in. The guy tipped me almost $100, which was crazy. I didn't know he was tipping me until he sent the invoice back with the check, but it's kind of nice to know that you're appreciated that much.
Oh, we appreciate you.
But I get okay, we're going to do this slowly. I'll kill myself up here. But I do have a lot of customers. All of my customers are word of mouth. I don't advertise at all. And it's really nice to know that what you're trying to do is helping.
You're one of the last honest guys, I swear. Where is that?
Well, you know, Brenda and I were both blessed with her job being as good as it was, which was kind of kind of a surprise. But once she had that job and was doing so well, then I was able to stop my full-time job that I was working at and start doing this. So, and I've really enjoyed doing it. I like working for myself mainly, but okay, let's see here.
I found a book, a hardcover book that says, "So you want to build a live steam locomotive?" That's prophetic. I wonder what it says.
Now, after I spray it, then I can wipe most of the top of the rails with just a paper towel. I get it before the paint dries, but it does dry pretty quick. So then I'll go back over it real lightly with a bright boy, or sometimes just with a piece of wood, and you can scrape the paint off at the top of the rails. The only bad thing about this is if you're after real looking stuff, you need to go back in on your guardrails. All your guardrails on your turnouts and paint them, do them, use a small brush and paint those up because they would not have been clean on top. I need to video the, I don't usually do rail fanning except over to narrow gauge, but here in Tulsa, we've got one of the expressways goes out here close to our house. It's called the Broken Arrow Expressway. And for part of that expressway, what is now the Union Pacific line, one of their lines goes down there and serves some of the some of the warehouses and stuff out on the east side of town. Well, they run that. They didn't run the tracks down the middle of the freeway. They built the freeway on either side of the tracks. And time to time, you'll be going down toward downtown, and you'll see one of the trains either sitting on the tracks out there or running up and down the tracks.
Yeah, we don't get a whole lot of trains through here.
Well, it's kind of an unusual thing. I've never seen one done this way. Now, I've seen them go down the middle of the street before, in an industrial area.
Right.
But I've never seen them go down between two parts of a highway. So I'll have to do that sometime when I drive down there. I'll take a short video as I'm driving.
Hey, Claude, look at this picture in this book. This is going to be me next year, and this is why I'm telling you, this thing ain't that big. This is a guy on an American.
Wait a minute. Let me make you big here.
That'll get you kind of an idea of how small it is.
And he's a small guy.
Yeah.
You figure that train's going to haul your fat butt around?
Oh yeah. It won't haul yours though.
No, it won't hold us together, I'm sure.
Oh, it will. Yeah, you'd be surprised what this thing will pull. But yeah, it's not very big.
Yeah, but it's cool looking. That's for sure.
That takes, it takes, from Central Station at Train Mountain to get to the top of the mountain, if you go the shortest way, it takes you at least an hour and a half to get up there.
Yeah.
So you're figuring a 2-3 hour round trip. That's a long ride on that little thing.
Okay, that's where I tied in this morning. I already had the ties glued down. I had done those the other day, but I laid the rail. So I got a nice little kink in the rail right there, and a little wavy rail down here. Give you an end shot. I don't know if I can give you an end shot without going upside down. So you can see. So that's how easy it is to paint them instead of having to go in there with a brush and doing it by hand. I see people do that, and it's like, man, why would you waste that time? Now, if you had a little small modular layout, you know, where you're just doing a module at a time, I could see painting the rail by hand. Or if you're large scale, you know, O scale or bigger, then I could see maybe going in by hand and doing it. But man, doing the small stuff like this, no. Did you paint yours by hand, Steve?
No. Well, some of it I did.
Some of it, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't spray any of it. That was one of my mistakes, was not doing the track before I did the scenery.
Okay, so there's the warehouse for the where the warehouse is going to sit for the junkyard, and then it's just going to be a small scrap yard right here. And I need to put down ground cover all in this area.
Silver sodded that.
And I can proceed. Then I got to come back up here and ballast all that track up there. Here's my re-railer, Steve. So I knew right where it was. Oops. There we go. That will work. Oh, I'm out of coffee. No.
Oh, shame. Kind of switched to beer.
You just switched to beer.
Is it? No, I said you need to switch to beer. Is it afternoon or there?
No, it's only not even quite 11 yet. But I like the way you're thinking.
Okay.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, whatever works. Oh, hey, Allie. Good morning. That's not gonna work. Okay, let's see. What are you up to, Allison?
There's the link if you want to pop on for a bit. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be doing this, but
No, I probably no more than 30 minutes for me.
think that.
The dogs are going like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Yeah. They're starting to revolt on you.
What's better than the other stuff they do?
Yeah.
Which involves cleaning up.
Well, I have to watch Annie, my Australian Shepherd. She likes to run with the neighbor dogs. Well, we got a new neighbor next to us here. And then she likes to run with her friend on the back fence. But when it gets out this hot, she doesn't pay attention to that. And she'll run and run and run. And she came in one day. This has been, was it last summer? Last summer, early this summer when it was so hot. And she was stumbling because she was so hot. Oh, there's Allie.
Yeah, Gus will do the
Hey,
same thing.
Yeah, she'd gotten so hot. I know she was
Hey, good
fixing
morning,
to stroke out. What do I do with my brush?
What's news?
Not much.
Nada.
What are you
Why
up
nada? I'm actually
to? How are the
doing
parents?
some detailing. Oh,
How are the parents?
Dad's
Parents.
getting better. He's a bit frustrated at the moment because they keep changing his appointments all the time, and every time they think of something new to do that he's got to have, he pushes back other appointments because he can't have some medications and that are in his system conflict with operations and stuff like that. So he's got to, it's frustrating for him. It's all jumbled up and mixed up.
Oh, mercy me.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here doing some detail work because this Sunday we've got an open day at our local model railway club. So yeah, I'm hoping to have these done by then, but I might only have one side done.
So they don't have you guys locked down then?
Not in Western Australia, thank God.
Yeah, that's good.
So things like that Westrail logo and that little round thing there, that's what I've added. I'm not sure what the round thing means. I think it means roller bearings. And on the other side, I've added in the code, the speed limit, that it's the wagons.
It looks good.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of the work I've done. The wagons were built for me, but there weren't any decals on them, so I've been doing it myself. But yeah, we got the open day on Sunday. On Saturday, we're going in to clean up and make sure everything's ready for the open day.
Yeah.
And during the week, I've been doing those. I've got one more to do, and that's all of one side done. And maybe tomorrow I might go and do the other side. See how I go.
Well, that's one of the nice things about smaller the gauge, the less detail you have to put on it.
That's what puts me off N scale.
What's nice about N scale.
There's no detail.
Yeah, there again, it's all about what you're after out of the hobby, you know.
Exactly.
If you want the long trains and stuff like that, then you can get that with the N scale, but
that is true.
It's out on the detail part of it.
So
there's always something.
There's my workbench. That's the last wagon that's got one side left to do. The decals in the water.
I still have a lot of that kind of stuff to do.
Well, because I haven't got my layout set up at the moment, really the only thing I can work on is the trains. So
yeah. Well, I have to have knee surgery. I don't know when I'm going to have it done. It may not be till next year. But I've got enough kits to last me downstairs in the workroom down there that I won't have to.
There you go.
I won't have to climb the stairs, yeah. But I'll still be able to do some train stuff, so.
Yeah, well, at least you won't be bored.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you working on there, Steve?
Not a thing. I'm not working on anything.
I'm gonna wash this brush.
I'm just sitting here watching my thing run, which is kind of fun.
It's a bit hypnotizing, isn't it?
Watch your thing run.
It is. Especially if you set it up close so you can see it. Let me see if I can set you up better. Oh, no.
Well, I was sitting there watching it when you had it on the other week, and it was kind of just fun because it's just so smooth. There's no clunking. There's no.
Yeah, it's just kind of mesmerizing.
Yeah. Watching
Is
those
that an
counterweight.
Australian? Is that an Australian word? Mesmerizing.
I think it's an English word, as
English
in English language that we all speak.
So you don't have a corresponding word.
Mesmerizing.
Mesmerizing. That's kind of
I
a
don't
funny
know.
word, actually.
Hypnotizing.
Let's see.
How about
Ooh.
what's that word? Trippy. It's trippy.
Trippy.
Creepy? It's trippy. Okay, let's see.
Trippy, like something the hippies would have said.
Hippie trippy. Yeah. I'm gonna lower this.
That ain't gonna work out like that.
This is nice having a hydraulic lift. Let's lower you down. There we go. Ooh, that's better.
That's in the right spot. Smack bang. Look at that.
There.
Just go. Oh, get off.
There, that's more better.
More better?
More betterer. That's good Spanglish.
That's more better.
Well, you want to hear some dreadful English, come to Oklahoma.
You're all a bunch
Although
of Okies.
I keep hearing it on TV all the time too, so.
Well, we get a lot of kids because, they're watching American TV shows here in Australia, and Americanisms are starting to come through in some of their language. And you're sitting there thinking, you're not from America. Why are you starting to pick up things like American accents and stuff like that? They start speaking like, instead of book, they say book. It's a book. It's not a book, it's a book.
Well, it's better in Canadian.
Or it's they say the letter Z instead of Z. In Australia we say Z, not Z.
Yeah.
But on Sesame Street they say Z.
Yep.
So
you start to hear it in some of the kids now.
Even Sesame Street's gotten political.
Oh yeah.
There.
I don't know. I don't watch Sesame Street lately.
Hey, Bernard,
but I
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sleeping.
It's it. No.
Well, what?
Yeah, Bernard had to put a Great Dane down last week, and he's down to one pit bull. That's too bad. I hate it when we lose our four-leggers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Bernard. That's really sad. Like, they are a member of the family. They're
That's tough when you got to make that decision. Especially when you're kind of deciding, are you keeping them around for you or them?
Yeah.
And we've done the same thing. We've kept them around too long.
You don't want to see them in pain.
You just don't want
that's kind of cruel.
No. But that's hard to make that decision when you got to do that.
That is very hard. I absolutely bawled when Mum and Dad's last dog had to be put down because she had cancer. She was just riddled with it, unfortunately.
Yeah, our pit bull we put down. Yeah, 3 years ago we put Jack down, and he was full of cancer.
You guys are depressing me.
Yeah, this is a very depressing subject.
Happier topic. Don't talk about our four-leggers.
One of the reasons why I haven't got it.
Look at that puppy move.
Well, don't let that overheat.
Oh, it won't.
Because I'm sure while you've got air in it, it's probably not circulating oil, is it?
That thing runs like a Swiss watch.
Well, now you reminded me of someone that passed away again. You used to say
Okay,
that.
Daniel. Thanks for hanging out, Dan. Sorry we're boring.
Daniel Banks. See you later, Daniel. I can't keep chat open because I've got a delay on the YouTube side, so and on the StreamYard side I can't see chat because I'm not the host. So it's a bit weird. I've never been in here as not the host.
Well, I have to look at my I have to look at my tablet to look at chat.
Oh, that's what I should do. I should probably bring it up on my phone. My phone right here. We'll probably slow the internet down though. Just so I know if I can put microphone on it. That's a whistle.
Okay. Now you're
That's
just
a
being
whistle.
annoying.
Oh, good. I'm gonna.
Good. It's annoying. I'll do some more.
I'll just do some more. Never tell me something's annoying. Never tell me.
Are you pissed off the dogs with it yet?
Oh, they don't know what to make of it. They just leave.
Leave. It's like, whatever.
Mine leave the room when they hear it, if they're in the same room.
Yeah, it sounds like a dog whistle.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was wondering if whether or not it would be affecting the dog's hearing.
Oh, they don't like it. They're not crazy about it.
It's starting out quite well.
I could ring the bell.
Ooh. Ouch.
See you
Got a
later, Daniel. I didn't
got a
miss
little
you
brass
already.
bell on it.
Bernard wants, hey, Allie.
Oh, say again? What'd you
Bernard's
say?
got a question for you there.
Oh,
I think I can answer it, but
hang on. Let me reread this. Do you say aluminium or aluminium?
no.
Aluminium.
He's one.
No, it's aluminum.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to type up there was how it's said.
Aluminum.
I would say aluminium. Not aluminum. Aluminum.
Yeah, you guys,
Yeah, that's the British.
you guys
British
all
pronunciation.
you guys all talk funny.
Claude's right. It is the British influence on.
What do you expect for somebody?
Sorry?
What do you expect for somebody that drives on the wrong side of the road?
Yeah.
We drive on the correct side of the road, thank you.
You guys all drive. Yeah, you guys drive the wrong side of the road.
Oh, no, I moved it. The deck will move.
heck's got to be tied into that?
I think that's all the deckling I think I will be doing for tonight.
Oh, that's right. It's night for you guys.
It is 12:05 right now.
Ooh.
Agreed. Ooh.
It doesn't bother me. I slept in today.
I've been going to bed so early anymore.
Say again?
So I've been going to bed so early anymore.
Why is that?
I don't know. Old, probably.
Hey, I'm in bed by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I normally don't go to bed till somewhere between 10:30 and 11. Sometimes later, sometimes a little bit earlier.
I'm always up.
Last 3 nights,
Well, you can bet I'm always up at. Well, I'm always up at 5 in the morning, so I do that for self-preservation.
There it is.
It's all good. What do you mean by that, Bernard? Are you just taking a piss again?
Bernard wants to make. What kind of packing is used on those rods, like Teflon, rope, or rubber, etc.? Steve.
You know, that's a good. I don't know. There is a cylinder packing, but I don't know what material they use. I can't answer that.
And then he asked me how to wipe clean the top rails after you just painted them. Well, first thing I do, Bernard, is take a paper towel with usually a stick of some kind, flat piece of wood, something like this. Wrap it around the end, and then I'll wipe it off. But it doesn't get it all because a lot of it'll dry before I get to that point. So then I'll either take the end of the stick itself and rub it off and scratch the paint off that way. And if that doesn't get it all, then I'll go back with the Bright Boy real easy over it. I try not to bear down with the Bright Boy, but I'll use it sometimes to help get the paint off.
You don't use anything like a Pico track rubber or anything?
I'm sorry, say again?
You don't use anything like the Pico track rubber?
Is it like a Bright Boy?
Looks like one of those, yeah.
Yeah, it's an abrasive eraser, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Bright Boy. That's what I use. And this one might be a Pico. I don't know. I don't think this one's actually a Bright Boy, but I have a Bright Boy from Micro Engineering right here. Still brand new one.
That's an Americanism there because I've never heard of the word Bright Boy until you mentioned it. So
yeah,
that's got to be an Americanism there. Track cleaner, yeah.
Yeah, it's just an abrasive eraser is what it is. And you can get them bigger than this. I mean, to make them pretty good size. Yeah. I try not to use that too much because it does scratch the rails up.
Yeah, you don't want to put too many heavy scratches into the rail because you'll never get the dirt and oil and crap out of it then.
Yeah. Of course, that's where, if you've got keep alives on your stuff, then those help immensely with all that kind of stuff.
Love my keep alive. Absolutely brilliant idea.
The only bad thing I've seen about the keep alives is if you derail in a tunnel or something.
Yeah.
It'll keep going for a little bit. So this is another thing I like really well is this. Get in the right spot here. Fusion fiber.
Oh yeah, you talked about that before.
Yeah, it's nice material. And you can put paint in it. You can add paint to it when you add the water and stuff.
Ugh.
I was saying this a while ago, Steve. I think it was when my mic was off. I wish I ran that smooth.
What's that?
I said, I wish I ran that smooth. I'd even put up with the noise.
It is such a smooth sound, isn't it? It's just.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's amazing how smooth it is, considering it's probably sat still for several months?
Years, I think.
Years?
That's probably what years, 10, 15, maybe more.
Yeah, didn't you say he started that
well
20 years ago?
He's got some notes on one of the drawings from 1998. So that's when he was hot and building it. So yeah, it's been 20 years.
Good few years then, sitting around doing nothing.
Well, it's all stainless steel and brass, though. So there's, unless it was in a corrosive environment, it wouldn't have been corrosive.
No, it was in his bedroom.
Well, it would have been protected there. It would have a steady temperature and everything protecting it.
So it's not going to corrode.
I was so jazzed when I fired it up on air.
And from what Steve says about about how meticulous he was with machining stuff, that's the other thing.
God, yeah.
Everything is so smooth on it.
Everything would be
It had to be perfect. John was just that way.
Have you guys heard from Shannon at all? Because apparently they've got a lockdown over there at the moment.
Well, he was on the show. He wasn't on last week, was he?
No,
I don't think so.
He didn't come on. Yeah, he didn't come on last week. Yeah, he was on the week before last, though.
Yeah. Bernard says his bedroom's corrosive. Just ask his wife. No, I'm not going there.
That's too much information, Bernard.
TMI.
Yeah, too much information. See, the nice thing about this fusion fiber, I've mixed it up with the water. I could let this sit the rest of the day and come back in here and still spread it.
So you like a long working time?
Well, this one's got a long working time. If I'm doing plaster work, I don't mind the short working time, but you have to plan accordingly. With this, you've got a little more time, and I can add, color to it and that sort of thing too. So I like that part of it. Whereas the plaster, Sculptamold, I've got some of it too, and it's okay in places, but it takes the paint different than hydrocal does. I've noticed that. You get dry, plain plaster hydrocal next to Sculptamold, and it won't paint the same. The color will be different.
See, I would probably get too impatient. I like a short working time because it's dry, and then I can move on to the next step.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about this is if I put it down now, see this part right here that I painted just a minute ago, I had put some gray color in it when I put it down, but this was all dry. I can come back and wet that, and it'll get wet and tacky again because it's got the glue in it. As long as I use acrylic paints, I can get that tacky again, and then I can actually put my ground foam right onto that instead of having to spread glue. So that's the nice thing too about it. But you just got to, you got to kind of play with it and see what works best for you.
I always think about watching some of these you guys and the Americans doing scenery and stuff like that, and I keep sitting there thinking, I wonder if any of that will work here in Australia because of our climate is so different. Do we have to put different amounts of water or mixtures in to suit our climate? I always wonder about that.
Well, I'm sure it makes a difference too with altitude here. Like if I go to the mountains, if you go to Colorado and try to cook spaghetti, say, and boil water, it's either going to take you forever, or like most people do up there, they'll use pressure cooker because otherwise you can't get the water to boil at that high altitude.
Interesting point. I didn't even think about it.
The altitude makes a big difference on your boiling point, and so it raises the boiling point way up there. And stuff just doesn't cook as well unless you're used to cooking up there and you know how to cook it.
Well, we don't have a lot of very high mountains.
I remember going on backpacking trips in the Boy Scouts, 10,000 feet camping, trying to boil water.
Yeah.
It'd take an hour.
Did you ever boil water in a paper bag?
No.
No.
That's pretty wild to see. Because water boils before paper will burn. But you have to be real careful doing it to keep from burning the paper, but it can be done. And it is kind of wild to see water boiling in a paper bag. Just take a paper bag and roll it down kind of low.
Well, I remember watching Les Stroud, Survivor Man. He would boil water in a plastic bottle.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, it's, you can do it. Getting ready to do this. I was going to spread that with this stick. Not smart. Not when I've got this I can use. Actually, this and this.
So, Claude, what area is that you're working on now? What's that going to be?
This area right here is going to be a junkyard or scrap yard, a small one. It's not going to be a great big one. It was going to be where the brewery sat, but that plan changed. Oh. And we're going to put the brewery up because the brewery's got so much detail with it. We wanted to put it up more at eye level.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wanted to do the tracks a little bit different here. If I put it here, I only had the one track to it. And we want to be able to go front and back with the tracks. Because it's got a small loading dock on the front side, and that's what I had set up for. But the back side of that brewery has the loading full doors and stuff in the back. And so we're going to do it on, try and get it to where you can see both of those. I don't know if that'll be possible, but we're going to try.
We'll probably have to put it on an angle of some kind.
Yeah, I will, but getting it up eye level will help because it'll be up at this level, a little bit higher than this level here.
Yeah.
And then the other side of the layout's going to end up being, mining, all the mining town or mining area. This is the only mine that's down low.
And so both of those tracks in front of you, they're narrow gauge, aren't they?
Yeah. All of this right over here is narrow gauge. The upper deck is all narrow gauge. And it starts from over here where the camera is. The upper deck block starts there because the standard gauge is strictly a loop-to-loop at pretty much this same level. Loop-to-loop that the loops are reversing loops inside the mountain.
Yeah, it goes in that tunnel behind where all those yellow trees are. Is that right?
Yeah, it goes back here and it goes back around here and it kind of does a little peekaboo over here and then goes in, does a reverse loop comes back out, goes all the way back around that way, comes down and goes through the bottom reverse loop and then back. So it's just a loop to loop setup for that. But it was strictly to be able to get the dual track in.
Yeah.
You know, a reason to have that. Although I could have done the dual track as a interchange kind of thing, which is what I'm doing, but I'm actually got stuff I can run on it.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
You know, I know a lot of guys, a lot of people put an interchange and they'll have an interchange track, but it really doesn't have anything running on it. It's strictly there for the visual trackage.
Yeah, and that's kind of sad because you haven't got room to do any shunting with standard gauge locos and wagons and things like that.
Yeah. But I will see, because my whole the two main lines come. The main line on the standard gauge comes right through the yard of the narrow gauge, so that's where all the dual trackage is. In fact, over where I'm going to be doing the cattle loading and meat packing plant stuff, back over here we'll have dual trackage in it too. Actually, it'll have dual trackage leading in, and then it'll split off into single track in both gauges.
Cool. Are you mocking me, Steve?
I'm mocking you.
Steve would be if he knew
the Mockingbird murder mystery.
He knew what mocking was.
That's true. What is mocking? Yeah.
What is mocking? Is that what you said?
I can. Yeah, I can draw.
Sorry, what did you say, Claude?
You assume a lot that Steve knows things.
Yeah, I can drive any mocking thing around.
He's older than me, therefore he should know more.
Hey, you got the Model T running. Oop,
Yeah,
that didn't sound good. There it goes.
So does that oil itself?
Let's try to see how. No, it does not.
So how do you keep it from overheating?
That's about as slow as I get it to run. Oh, I should probably cut this off and go back to being a responsible adult.
That's no fun.
No, it's not. More fun to be hanging out here.
I've just gone back into chat. Hello, Roy Eltham.
Hey, Roy.
Hey, Roy.
Welcome, sir.
Better late than never.
Well, sometimes you can say that. I don't know about us, but you can say that sometimes.
This is true.
And Bernard's asking me, what is Claude spreading? Hydrocal?
Oh. Okay. I thought he was talking figuratively. No, this is fusion fiber.
Yeah, I thought you just were telling me that.
Yeah, this is the fusion fiber that I've put a little paint in. And I'm covering the edge of the cork here because I put a sheet of cork on here and raised this area up just a little bit. But I also wanted to lay the track right on the cork. Kind of like I did in the lumberyard area where it's not on a roadbed. It's just laid on the ground. Which a lot of the narrow gauge is like that. You look at the road bed and you go, well, that's just laying on the ground. That's not road bed. But this right here, what I'm doing, Allie, is another reason this is great for doing this, because it doesn't set up so fast. If I'd have been doing plaster, I'd have had to mix 3 or 4 batches by now.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a very good point.
Because it would have dried up before it gotten hard before I could get it on here. This lets me have as much time as I need, pretty much, to do this, because it's kind of meticulous right here. I got that cork a little bit closer to the existing rail than I wanted to.
Have you already ballasted that? Is that what I'm seeing there, or is that just
That's
paint?
just the paint. The brown is the paint.
Ah.
That's painting the rails, you know. And then, of course, can you already see down here, that's ballasted.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, basically all you end up seeing is the top of the ties and the sides of the rail, the top of the rail. Everything else gets covered up. So
you'll chuck that on afterwards, after you've done all that.
Yeah. So I paint all that with the Krylon, or I think Krylon and Rust-Oleum make kind of the same kind of thing. It's a camouflage. They make like 4 colors in a camouflage series. And this is like this. If you go from light to dark, bottom to top, this would be the second one from the top, the second darkest color that they have in there. It's just a dark brown, but it looks really good once you get everything ballasted up and everything. It's
cute.
And it's a lot faster, and like I was telling Steve, a lot faster than painting by hand.
Sure.
I'm mocking you again.
Yes. I knew that was coming as well. I heard it.
I haven't been able to mock anybody in a while. So thank you.
You just want to mock Australians. Because you can't mock Shannon, mock me. I'm the substitute.
No.
Shannon's too easy. That's the thing about Shannon.
Is that the whistle again?
That sounds like you're boarding a battleship or something, man.
Captain on the deck.
All aboard.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Officer on deck. Hey, Lee.
Oh, who else is here? I gotta change screens again. Oh, Lee's here. Hello, Lee.
Hey, Lee.
Steve's Poetry in Motion, or the Symphony of the Mechanical Parts.
Yes.
That's a nice way of putting it, Bernard.
You know, these guys were geniuses that developed this stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing what people have come up with. You know, you think about.
Well, they said
they've got all this intricate machined stuff, right? But somebody had to figure out how to get the tolerances down on the machining equipment to machine stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just.
Would you ever hear the saying, well, on a steam engine, it takes 5 minutes to find the problem, 5 hours to fix it? It's the other way with the diesel, 5 hours to find the problem and 5 minutes to fix it.
Yeah.
I have heard that before. One of the best ones was I heard was a guy said with a steam engine, it's a happening. With diesel, it's a train.
Yes.
So, you know, with the steam engine, it's live.
And
you can see. Go ahead, Steve.
When technically it's a steam locomotive. I try to tell Tim that all the time. He talks about steam engines. Well, it's actually a locomotive, not an engine.
Yeah.
But I
That
like
is
to pick
actually
on
still
him.
quite. They're still quite fun to watch. Just watching
Oh,
all
yeah.
those parts because they move so smoothly and together. They're just nothing's fighting each other. They're just working together as a team.
Like a perfect world. Yep, everybody works the way they're supposed to. Harmony in motion.
That's it. Harmony in motion.
And all it takes is for one part to break for the whole thing to shut down.
That is true. Steve, Bernard says, did you see the seals question?
Did I
I'm not
what?
sure what he's referring to there.
Let me see.
The seal question.
What did you say?
SEAL.
Yeah, on the rods. Bernard may have missed that because he had to redo his phone. I don't know if that was about the time you answered that or not.
I don't
The
know.
packing on the rods, on the pistons.
Oh, the pistons. I don't know what they use for steam packing. There is a material, but I don't know what it is. Tim would know. He knows everything. Just ask him.
I can tell you what it is on like outdoor faucets, or at least the old ones. The newer ones are just rubber gaskets, and that's why they wear out so fast. The old ones were graphite.
Actually, I think you're right. I think it is graphite now that you say that.
It might be graphite on the Locos.
Well, that makes sense.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was that.
And they do leak. They're not 100% at sealing it. They do leak.
Well, you get that much hot steam under pressure. Yeah, it's going to be tough to seal it off completely. But that's the cool thing about a steam locomotive.
That's
man,
what's so cool about. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just
especially
breathe.
in the wintertime when it's cold and all that steam's steam's condensing. You can see all the leaks, but that's what makes them look good.
Yeah, they're like a breathing animal.
Well, one of my favourite things when it comes to steam locomotives is watching them just as they start to move. You hear that big and everywhere, just the whole area will just get clouded with steam and smoke and or the combination of both, and you hear that smell and you hear the first initial chuff and it's just slowly taking off and then slowly it parts and you see a headlight peering through. That to me is just magic.
Well, and all that hissing when they start is the cylinder cocks being open. Because water doesn't compress and it condenses in the cylinders. And if you don't blow that water out of those cylinders with the cylinder cocks, you blow the head right off of it. So you gotta, anytime you start, you gotta open the cylinder cocks, and that's what all that rush of steam is coming out. It's blowing out all the water out of those cylinders.
It's still one of the best, I think, parts of a steam locomotive.
Yeah,
that the smell of coal smoke.
The first chug, the first rotation of the cylinders is pretty cool, and that's real close to that same spot you're talking about.
Oh, when they're going uphill and that exhaust is barking, woo, that sounds good.
Oh yeah.
When the pressure's on,
all that back
the
pressure.
load.
Yeah, the dosing on the trip we took from on the Cumberson toll tank, we were going up that 4.5% grade or whatever it was, right that one spot, and I mean the engine is chugging, and a lot of times you'll see real dark black smoke come out of him, but he had it. The docent was telling us that the fireman had the fire just right because it was coming out almost clear. You could see it, but it was not. There wasn't any black with it. When it comes out real black, it means they're overfired.
Well,
It's too
someone
cool.
told me
Yeah,
it's also
It's
actually,
not hot enough.
that was the sign of a good fireman is little or no smoke.
Yeah. Yeah,
one of the
I
other
found that interesting.
one of the other things I got told was it does show the quality of the coal being used as well,
Yeah.
the color of the smoke.
Oh yeah,
Like if it's nice and white and cloudy, it's good quality coal. If it's black and dark, that means it's not
yeah,
burning well.
Yeah. Got
yeah.
more
You get
sulfur in it
anthracite
probably.
coal and high sulfur coal. Yeah,
Hmm.
And I don't know
and anthracite doesn't like to burn real well.
the Cumberson Toltec and Durango Silverton, they get their coal from the same coal mine they were using back in the 1880s when they put the lines in up there.
Yeah.
It's still
Well, see,
producing enough coal. Of course, they don't use it they're not shipping it off for electrical use. It's strictly for their use. So, whatever's there is what they're using. And of course,
yeah,
unfortunately, they're starting to get away from it. They're going to end up changing them all to oil burners, I know.
Oh yeah.
Which is really
Well,
a shame.
the Norfolk and Western, they were one of the last railroads to dieselize because coal was so abundant.
Oh yeah,
and they burned anthracite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anthracite coal. It takes a lot to get that going. So they had really big fireboxes on the N&W locomotives. You can always tell because they've got just a huge firebox.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve. Steve 87. Steve Anderson. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Anderson.
Mr.
Wow, Beans
Anderson.
is on. Where you been, Steve? We've been on for 2.5 hours, man.
Yeah, and I gotta go.
Even Roy's
Roy had to leave. Roy had to leave.
Roy had to leave.
I'm kind of at a stopping point now till this stuff dries.
Well, I'm waiting for my stuff to dry too, so I'm kind of bleh.
Oh, but I got that extra line moved over and extended like I wanted, so now I've got some room there for the junkyard.
You're up in Washington, aren't you, Steve?
Yeah, I think he is.
Who's Jackie LFC?
Jackie LFC Jared. Welcome. Haven't heard that name before. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome.
Hey, yeah, Jackie.
Yeah, we're well.
Thanks for showing up. Yeah,
just as we're
Bernard said. Stain for me is a living, breathing iron horse that complacency will bite your heart if you're not listening to what she wants. Well, that's the truth.
Boy, you got that right.
You ever seen the front end of a loco that blew up?
Oh, and every steam locomotive is different. They're all individual. You can have two classes identical the same, and they won't fire the same.
Yeah. Well, you just ask the engineers and the firemen about that. They'll tell you. You have to get used to the one you're using because they all have their own personality. Okay, this is starting to look halfway decent.
Yeah, Steve.
I need to rinse stuff, so I'm going to leave the room for a minute.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it's crazy up in Washington. It's crazy in Oregon, too. Oh, gotta love our governor. Oh, God, she's a jewel. Man. Yeah, she just signed a bill in secret to reduce the graduation requirements for high school students. Talk about dumbing down our kids. Thing? No, this was something that Kate Brown did. Yeah, she's a jewel, and and she also signed something too. I just found this out a couple days ago, requiring state workers to get the vaccine. And my wife is a state worker, and she's retiring in September. So
So you guys haven't got the vaccine?
What's that?
You guys haven't had a vaccine?
Oh, we have
Nope.
it.
I haven't either. My wife has, but I haven't.
They're requiring it for state workers. So she's going to retire before they. We're going to fight it. Yes, Steve, it is running on air.
I'm still waiting to get mine.
Every boiler's different. Yep.
What did you say, Ali?
I was just saying I'm still waiting to get my COVID jab.
So I'm not going to do it. Not to get political, but I'm not doing it.
Actually, I might check that.
Yeah, it's weird, Steve. Yeah, talk about dumbing down our kids. How are these poor kids going to try to go to college if that's actually a goal? If they can't read and write, it just makes no sense.
Is that what the bill has changed?
Yeah. So these kids, they'll graduate high school, and the requirements are so low. They're not proficient in math, reading, grammar.
That's terrible.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yep.
See, we could talk politics on Beans, I guess. Well, we did. So.
I'm tempted to, but that's not why we got the channel. So,
Sports and acting, you got that right, Steve. That's because that's what they control.
No,
I can't remember the last baseball game I watched. I used to be a huge baseball fan.
now can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep, we got you.
I'm going, can you hear me? Can you hear me? It helps if it's unmuted.
I saw it mute and I thought, is he going to work it out? Should I say something?
Eventually. I did a whole spiel earlier with it being where they couldn't hear me because, well, it wasn't because I muted. It was because I answered a phone call and came back and it had muted me.
Yeah, Bernard, I agree. I've got a friend down in California. He's the San Joaquin County sheriff, and some of the stories he's told, and he's in the inch and a half scale up at Train Mountain, and yeah, they won't even pursue anybody because it's too dangerous, and once they get him, they can't do anything anyway. He said he won't even pull his gun. He'll end up going to jail.
Claude's doing his version commercial. What? I don't get what he means by that.
There's a surprise, Steve. They demonize the police, defund them, and then when they try to hire people back, it's like, why would you want to be a police officer?
Exactly.
That's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want. Hey, what do you expect when our president gets off Marine One and walks to the White House and walks right past the door to the West Wing? Walks in, he's got the Secret Service agent pointing to the door, walks away, and he walks right past him on the grass.
I moved it.
Are you going to get me on a rant now?
No, I'll shut you off for then.
We'll just mute you.
Just mute me.
Yeah. In fact, I've got to go get off my feet. They're barking at me.
Yeah,
Dogs are
my
barking.
dogs are barking inside, so I probably should go too.
Rightio. Well, I will catch you gentlemen later. It was good
Alrighty.
catching up.
Thanks for jumping in,
Speaking,
Alec.
Alec. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Later.
And we're not responsible for the
Thanks
content
for
of
not.
this program.
No, that's our disclaimer. We are not responsible. Nobody's responsible anymore.
Nope. Not anymore. Okay. Well, take care, everybody. We'll
All
see you
righty,
later.
guys. Later. See you, Allie.
Bye, Steve.